Okay, in this practice we're going to go step by step through the whole body, breathing energy into the body. But first we're going to do the same steps we've been doing a lot of lately to check our body in the first couple of minutes, check for obvious areas of tension. So while you're lying down with your blindfold on, we put our hands on our belly. Again, just checking to make sure that as we inhale, the belly expands outward and upward. And as we exhale, we feel our belly collapsing a little bit. This type of breathing ensures that we're using the diaphragm muscle, which is very relaxing to do. So we'll just breathe this way for a few moments. And now we bring our attention up toward the face, checking that we're not clenching our teeth. So release the jaw if you are. And when you release the jaw, check for any tension in your neck. See if your head would want to roll a little more to one side or the other. Sometimes we artificially hold our head in place as if we're supposed to stare straight up at the ceiling. And maybe that's not the most natural posture. Maybe there's a little natural tension in the neck. And when we really let go, our head just pulls to one side or the other. That's just what it needs. So we've released the jaw. We're allowing the head to roll. Bring our attention down to the shoulders. In this case, shrugging might not be the issue, but they might be floating up above the ground because our chest is so tight. So see if you can take a deep breath in, and when you breathe out, let your shoulders drift back toward the earth a little bit. Feeling the chest opening at the same time and softening. Briefly checking the arms and the hands, that they're also relaxed, that there's no subconscious contraction happening. And we can scan the lower back. Because we're already breathing into the belly's moving nice and easy on every inhale and exhale. Can we extend that sense of softness and flexibility behind us to our lower back? We might be holding tension in the lower back, causing us to keep it contracted or curled a little tighter than is natural. So for the next couple of breaths, put your mind into your lower back and see if you can let it uncurl or untighten. Maybe feeling it sink a little more toward the earth. So we'll just do that for a couple of moments. And then we bring our mind down lower on our body to the pelvis and the hips and the buttocks. So just check for any tension there and notice if you feel a desire to adjust your thighs where they're resting on the pillow or on the ground. The way you adjust them will reflect any relaxation in the buttocks. Along with that, we're checking the pelvic floor muscles, the muscles of the perineum, around the anus, around our sex organs. Notice if we're clenching there. And if we are, just take a deep breath in, and as you breathe out, see if you can intend for those muscles to just soften a little bit. Letting go of the clenching. And again, when we release this area, we might feel another urge to adjust our thighs, as well as the lower legs and the feet. When we reduce tension in the hips and in the pelvic region, that relaxation naturally spreads down to the thighs, the lower legs, and the feet. And now we're going to choose a small part of our body to focus on, to learn how to do the practice. And after we do it with that body part, we'll move to the rest of the body piece by piece. So let's focus on our fingers and hands, especially the palms of our hands. And if you want to, you don't have to keep your hands on your belly. You could put them down by your side if you prefer. But place your awareness now on the palms of your hands and on your fingers and thumbs. And what we want to do is imagine that every time you inhale, filling your lungs and expanding the belly, that the skin of your palms and fingers is also inhaling. And it's taking in the oxygen around us and perhaps even subtle energy. And if you don't like thinking about subtle energy, that's okay. We can just focus on the oxygen. But imagine that when you breathe in, the skin on your palms also inhales, soaking in or drawing in that fresh air, that fresh energy. And when you exhale, just remain present in the palms of your hands. You don't have to focus on them exhaling, but just feel them. So on the in-breath, you imagine that the skin is drawing in the fresh air, fresh energy. And on the exhale, you just feel whatever you feel on your skin. So let's do that for about a minute or so, just focusing on the palms and the fingers. Notice your palms and fingers becoming more sensitive with every breath. Slowly over time, it starts to feel as if your skin is actually breathing in, that it's actually inhaling something energetic. It could be a tingling sensation or a feeling of a gentle breeze, or even a sense of coolness. Whatever way you experience it is fine. And now let's spread our attention throughout our hands, not just the fingers and palms, but the backs of our hands, the backs of our fingers, all the way up to the wrist. And when you breathe in, imagine that the fresh air and the fresh energy that you're breathing in through the hands goes all the way in, filling all the muscles and bones of your hands. So we breathe in, drawing in that fresh energy. Breathing out, we're just feeling however way our hands feel. And now let your awareness move upward so that we're feeling our forearms, but we're not leaving the hands behind. Every time we move to a new body part, we include the parts we've already worked on. So at this stage, we're inhaling not only through our hands, but also through our forearms, all the way into the bones. And now we extend our attention upward to our upper arms and our elbows, all the way up to the shoulders. So now we're breathing in through the skin of our fingers, our hands, our wrists, our forearms, our elbows, and our upper arms, all the way up to the shoulders. Breathing in, drawing in energy through the skin. Breathing out, just feeling how our arms and hands feel. And now while we continue breathing in through our hands and arms to our shoulders, we're going to extend our attention now to our toes and our feet. So the skin wrapping all around our toes and our feet up to the ankles. And it might be awkward at first, but that's okay. We'll practice over time. That you're paying attention to two areas at once now, your arms and hands, and your feet and your toes. And it's okay if most of your attention is in your feet to start this. But feel your toes, feel your feet, and as you breathe in, imagine the skin drawing in fresh air, fresh energy from the surrounding environment. And when you exhale, just feel how your feet feel. And as soon as you have a sense for your feet, make sure not to forget the arms and hands. So we're breathing into the arms and hands and feet at the same time. Just like with the hands, we imagine at the feet, breathing in through the skin and absorbing that energy all the way into the bones. And now we can include the ankles and the lower leg. So your shin and your calf muscles all the way up to the knees. So from the knees all the way out to the toes, and still including the hands and arms. Noticing how these areas continue to become more sensitive and alive by breathing more energy into them. And we can place a little extra attention on the knees, the kneecap on top and behind the knee in the back, and on the inside and the outside of the knee. And even if you've had a knee replacement, you can still experience mentally as you breathe in through the skin around the knee and absorb the energy all the way into the bone and any other material that is there. Now we can include our thighs. So coming up from the knee, all the way up to the groin on the inside and up to our hips on the outside. And up to the base of the buttocks behind. So feeling with our intention the skin of our thighs, feeling them drawing in the oxygen and energy on the inhale. On the exhale, just feeling how the thighs feel. Breathing deeper into the thighs every time, deeper into the muscles and all the tissues, all the way into the bone of the thighs. And we're still breathing into our lower legs and feet and breathing into our arms and hands. And now we bring our attention in towards the groin, the genitals, the pelvic floor. Breathing in through the skin of these areas, absorbing the energy into these tissues. And on the exhale, just feeling how they feel. Now we bring our attention onto the buttocks and our hips. We're still breathing in through our arms and hands and feet and lower legs and thighs and the pelvic floor and the genital region. And now we're breathing in through the buttocks also and the hips. As we inhale, we imagine drawing all that energy through the skin, deep inside, all the way into the bones of the pelvis. And now we're going to bring our attention to the lower belly, so the lower abdomen in between the pubic bone and the belly button. So try and feel the skin in that area. As you inhale, we imagine drawing in the fresh energy and oxygen, and that is absorbed deeper beneath the skin into the organs inside our body in this section. So for women, there are the reproductive organs, and for all sexes, there are the intestines, the bladder, urethra. Further back would be the kidneys. And we don't have to try and identify every single organ. We're just working with a general area here. As you breathe in, imagine the energy coming through the skin and entering deeply, filling your whole lower belly area, the lower abdomen. And we can include the skin wrapped around to our lower back, and we absorb energy from behind us that way too, drawing it deeply inside, including into the spine and the lower back and the sacrum. And now we bring our awareness upward to the upper abdomen, so the area from your belly button up to your breastbone, up to the sternum, where the rib cage comes together over the heart. So the upper belly, and then around the sides, just beneath the rib cage, and the skin behind you in the middle back. As we breathe in, we imagine energy being absorbed all around us, entering through the skin, wrapped around our midsection, being absorbed deeply inside to the center of our bodies. And on the exhale, we just feel what we feel in these areas. And now we can extend our awareness further upward, paying attention to our chests and breast tissue, and then the sides of the rib cage, beneath our armpits, and then wrapping around the back to our upper backs, shoulder blades, and the spine. Breathing in through the skin, wrapped all around our upper torso. As we inhale deeply, absorbing that energy deeply inside into our heart and lungs and all the other tissues, the bones of the rib cage and the spine. And on the exhale, just feeling whatever we feel in these areas. Now we extend our awareness further up to our collarbones and our throat, then sides of the neck and the back of the neck, up to the base of the skull. So first feel the skin wrapped around your neck, and then start breathing in. Imagine inhaling through the skin all the way in to the spine, your cervical spine, and your throat in front, and even your voice box, your vocal cords receiving the fresh energy. And on the exhale, just feel how these areas feel. And then we extend our awareness upward to our face. So our forehead, cheeks, eyes, nose and mouth, and jaw. Feeling the skin on this area. As you breathe in, imagine drawing in the energy and oxygen from the space in front of you through the skin. You can almost imagine that a soft snowfall of energy, these very delicate snowflakes, are landing on your skin, on your face. And you inhale, absorbing the snowflakes of energy. They pass through your skin, into your eyes, and into your bones of your face, passing through the bones and entering your brain. And we can extend that to our scalp and our ears. So now we're feeling the skin wrapped all around our head, from the top of the head down to the neck, in front and back, the sides. Breathing in, absorbing the energy, drawing it deeply inside, all the way into the brain. Exhaling, relaxing, and just feeling how everything feels. And now we've covered every part of the body, but let's continue practicing with the whole body in mind, all at once. All the skin, the largest organ, from the top of the head to the tips of our toes, the tips of our fingers, and everything in between. Feeling the entirety of our skin in front, behind, and to the sides. As we breathe in, we absorb deeply the energy that surrounds us. Draw it into every muscle, every tissue, every bone, as deep as you can go inside your body. And on the exhale, you just relax, let go, and feel how your body feels. Notice that some areas will feel more alive than others, more electric or tingly, more fresh, more sensitive, more vibrant. And if there's any part of the body that stands out for being numb or invisible, for the next minute or so, you might just spend some extra awareness or attention on that area and focus on the skin covering that area. Feel the skin carefully, delicately, and on the inhale, draw in more energy through that skin, imagining that energy coming inside, filling that area of numbness or darkness. And on the exhale, just let it be without judgment, but just feeling exactly how it feels. And if you don't have any specific areas of numbness, continue practicing through your whole body, breathing in everywhere all at once at the same time, drawing in more and more energy with every breath, and relaxing and letting go on every exhale. And we'll just continue this way for the last few minutes. And this concludes the session.